Hello my friends and welcome back. It is Wednesday my dudes, hump day. The spine of the week has been broken, but you know what else has been broken? The entire Iranian military. We're talking anti-air defense systems gone. Ballistic missile launchers mostly gone. Shahed drones not gone, they shoot them out daily. But the rest, the leadership, the politicians, the officials, everything is bombed to a pulp thanks to the United States. And to illustrate this, let's look at this footage from Tehran, the capital. Look at that. This is shock and awe. I am in awe and the guy filming is in shock. That is shock and awe. This is massive. Let's begin with all of the targets hit by United States and Israeli bombers. And we have aircraft carrier. Well, not quite. It's a drone carrier. Yes, Iran had a drone carrier. Look at that. Looks quite nice, right? It's like a miniature minion version of United States Gerald Ford aircraft carrier, only it's Iranian and it's truly tiny. The U.S. Air Force Central Command, CENTCOM, announces that in the very first hours of the military operation, the Iranian aircraft carrier Shahid Bagheri was significantly damaged, and this is not built as a carrier. It was repurposed for as a drone carrier. It was something else. I think it was a civilian vessel before. Well, it's gone now. And to illustrate the loss of naval assets for Iran even further, we have yet another satellite image of the port of Konarak. Look at that, naval base, military naval base of Konarak. We have smoke, active fire, building damage. All of these buildings are damaged. Patrol boats sunk. Floating dock damaged. Vessel sunk. Yeah, I don't even gotta read it to you. It's all destroyed. Everything that is connected to military in this photo is destroyed. Now, this drone carrier I mentioned before, this wasn't the largest Iranian military vessel. This was, and it was sunk at the first hours of Epic Fury, the operation. A satellite image has surfaced confirming that precision strikes by US Air Force aircraft severely damaged the Iranian naval vessel INS Makran at the Bandar Abbas naval base near the Strait of Hormuz. A former oil tanker, so this is also repurposed from a civilian vessel into a military vessel, was converted into expeditionary sea base. And it was used for Iran for logistical and operational support missions. And it was the biggest Iranian military maritime vessel. Well, it's no more. It's joined the Russian Moskva at the bottom of the sea. Although they are different seas. Well, same kind of submarines now. And you thought this was it? It's not it. This is like a Topshop commercial. But wait, there's more. Iranian frigate was sunk. US forces, likely US Navy, sinking the Iranian Navy Moiz class frigate Iris Yamaran at the Konarak naval base. The one, that satellite image you just saw. And well, this is what it looks like. I love myself a nice burning Iranian frigate for the morning. This makes my morning, my friends. Hope it does for you also. Look at that beautiful fireball. So many new submarines going to the bottom of the Strait of Hormuz, joining the Russian flagship Moskva. They're having a submarine party down there, under the sea. Okay, we're going from the naval assets to the aerial assets. Because Qatar shot down, no, not the United States fighters. This was Kuwait. It was friendly fire, really bad. Qatar shot down 2 Iranian Su-24s. Iran bought these from Russia, of course, like they bought the S-300s and S-400s. Really bad decision to buy anything from Russia. Well, Qatar shot them down. 2 of them, in addition to tens of ballistic missiles that they shot down with Patriot missiles. Alright, going from aerial assets to the ground assets. I don't know how to call this. What would you call an entire military base? For example, the Tabriz missile base. This is what it looked like before Epic Fury bombardment. Nice and crisp, nothing really wrong with it. It's an underground missile base with entrances right here. This is what it looks like after Donald Trump flicks his fingers, is like, do Epic Fury. bombarded to Stone Age, wiped off the map. I love seeing stuff like that because, you know, we live next to Russia. They see stuff like that. And this is done by the United States. I mean, this sends a message to Putin. This could be any Russian military base if they keep barking. In this next footage, an Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, that's what they call the regime soldiers and everybody connected to the regime, building was struck. And what's interesting about this footage is a lot of documents were flying up in the air with the Revolutionary Guard's signature on it and top secret red like text on it. People are like, obviously whatever was struck was filled with secret government papers that are now all over the place. Check this out. This guy picks up one of them and shows it to us, and then picks up another one. Because there's plenty of them to go around now. They're all top secret, but now everybody can read them. And they are a clear instance that whatever was struck was connected to IRGC, Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. Oh my god, this was difficult. I'm sure you want to know this because we just got new information how exactly Khamenei, the Ayatollah, was eliminated, and it was done by using ballistic missiles that were shot out from United States F-15s. And F-15 shooting out a ballistic that goes out of space and goes back down. This was the actual trajectory of these 7 missiles that hit the Khamenei's compound, where he was in with his government officials. Look at that. They went out of space. They were almost interstellar. They were truly a divine intervention because it came from outer space. I'll read the text to you. The 7 ballistic missiles that struck the Khamenei's compound all hit within a 30-second time frame. The missiles were launched 75 miles into space. 75 in kilometers, that's like a bazillion kilometers up in the air. You could touch the moon and come back down. Flying over Syria and Jordan, completely out of range of Iranian radar. These missiles go into outer space during mid-course phase of their flight, spending about 90% of their trajectory outside Earth's atmosphere. So they are like extraterrestrial missiles that took out Khamenei. Reaching hypersonic speeds Mach 5 plus during re-entry. I'm sure Russian S-400s could do nothing against these if they would be in existence, because Israel destroyed them with the previous massive strike against Iran. They destroyed majority of Iranian S-400s with F-35s, by the way. That's wonderful. But this trajectory for me is quite insane to look at. Israel timed the strike on Khamenei for the one moment he was vulnerable. For over 20 years, Unit 8200 tracked Khamenei's daily routine, hacked Tehran traffic cameras, and used AI to sift interceptor calls. They knew he went underground at night when he expected attacks. So they struck at 9:40 a.m. on Saturday morning while he was above ground with his family. See, yeah, that's insane. Because these kind of operations never happen during daylight. These big operations, we're talking about full-scale invasion of Ukraine or Operation Desert Storm, whichever kind of huge operation, including like hundreds of planes, usually they start at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., right? 9:40 is a very unusual time for these kind of operations. There are reasons that they start at night in the dark, well before anybody wakes up. But now we know why it happened 9:40, because Khamenei was not expecting an attack during daylight and was above ground. So yeah, makes sense. Maybe they should attack Putin like 5 p.m. or something. He expects nothing but his nightly tea at the time, so bring him his tea with a few missiles, with a few tomahawks, if you know what I mean. But crazy strikes don't end there. I mean, they keep on coming. I don't know how many videos I gotta make about this. So much new information comes out. But check this out. Israeli forces reportedly conducted an operation against a compound in the city of Qom, Iran, where a delegation of high-ranking senior clerics were assembled. What were they doing there? Well, they were about to prepare an election for a successor of a late Ayatollah Khamenei, who was eliminated 3 days ago. So, you take out Khamenei, they need a new Ayatollah. They're getting together to elect a new one or choose a new one. You take them out also. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that a bitch? Well, I love to see that. By the way, you see, I'm making fun of this stuff. Iranians themselves are making fun of this stuff. This is Iranian guy filming an explosions in his own country. These explosions quite precisely target Iranian Revolutionary Guard core assets. So civilians kind of know that they're not being targeted. And they don't like Khamenei. They don't like that regime. Especially women don't like it. So they see this happening in their own country. They're like, hell yeah. Maybe some things will change now. Hell yeah. The guy were laughing here. It's like, yeah, woo, the regime going down. Would you be laughing if you would see your own country being bombed like that? No. But if your country would be led by Ayatollah Khamenei, you would be laughing. But wait, it's still not over, my friends. I don't know when will it be over, but IDF, the Israel Defense Force, announced that they struck a secret nuclear facility after the 12-day war in June last year, during which Iranian nuclear facilities were attacked. Tehran did not stop its military nuclear activities and continued to develop the capabilities necessary for nuclear weapons and moved the infrastructure to underground facility. Also, after the 12-day war, S-400s were all destroyed, which is, I never get tired of saying this because it's so nice and sweet to say it. But now Israel struck the underground facility next to the capital, Tehran, where they were enriching uranium for the bomb. Yeah, Israelis are like, you're welcome, everybody on the world, because we don't want to give them the weapon, you know. So this area underneath this whole mountain structure, I'm guessing they use bunker busters because this all is deep on the ground. Well, it's no more. No more enriched uranium, and you can sleep tight. Don't worry about it. The Iranians are not gonna get a nuclear bomb. My friends, much like the free world needs the help of the United States Air Force to get rid of Iranian nuclear aspirations, so do I need the help of you. And I want to thank the guys who actually have been helping, who have been supporting. They joined up on Buy Me a Coffee, like United States and Israel joined up forces to strike evil. I'm talking about Iran. Well, I'm gonna butcher 5 names, 5 new joiners on Buy Me a Coffee monthly membership. First of all, wants to be anonymous, so he wrote down Someona, so I cannot really say his name. Second of all, Tom van der Heide. How many times you've joined? Gazillion. I don't care. Join up, I'll be butchering your name month after month. Then we have Andrev Weitz. Welcome, my friend. For the 4th, Jim Lindberg. And 5th, Thomas Grunz. If you like the sound of these names being butchered, then sign up to Buy Me a Coffee. Let's keep these videos going and let's keep Iranian hands away from the enriched uranium. But now I have a list for you of targets that Iran actually struck back. They struck like 9 different countries in the Middle East, most United States bases. Let's see. First of all, I'll bring to you the Aramco oil refinery Ras Tanura, which is one of the largest oil refineries in the whole planet. This is Saudi Arabia's biggest and one of the planet's biggest oil refineries. This is a satellite image of the refinery after the attacks. As you can see, this looks like one of these Russian refineries that Ukraine has been playing with a little bit. Unfortunately, Iranians, of course, know very well what to struck because they have their own oil refineries, because they're a very much oil-producing country. So they struck the distillery towers, they struck, forgive me, which part is this? Presumably an extremely important part, because the Saudis actually switched off this refinery after the attack. The damage was so extensive. And you can see that close up right here. All these strikes, and there's a video here also, these strikes and this war in general will rise the oil prices in the world, which benefits Russia in the short term. In the long term, they will lose big time by losing Iran as an ally, because they have invested directly tens of billions of dollars into Iran, and they would lose an ally also. But in the short term, they're making more money from oil because it drives up the oil prices, since Saudi Arabia's biggest refinery is right now out, and Iran, which is a massive oil producer in the world, is out. So oil prices go up, Putin smile a little bit, but in the long term, Putin very sad. Now, this next one, take it with a grain of salt. It is reported that Iran attacked the Iranian-Russian Shadow Fleet tanker Skylight. Their own, like, Shadow Fleet tanker. Now, why would they do that? Is it blue on blue or red on red, as you say? I take it with a grain of salt. I couldn't confirm this one, but yeah, the story goes that they attacked their own tanker by a mistake with a drone, and it's burning right now. Yeah, if you know anything about it, please write it. I couldn't confirm it at this time, since, you know, the time I'm making this video and the time you are watching it, it's all so different already. You might be teaching me in the comments of what really happened, so please do. But yeah, this is how the story goes, and I do enjoy this story. Remember these U.S.A. pilots, F-15 pilots that Kuwait shot down? Well, all of the pilots are fine, but now we got more footage of the first contact of the pilots and the locals, and it's stuff of legends. Let me just, I want to enjoy this, man. This is just straight out of the movie. This is the very first seconds of the pilot landed, and the locals immediately stopped their cars, went close to him. They didn't know if this is a United States pilot or an Iranian pilot. So let's see. Pulling him closer. This guy has a crowbar, actually. Look at this crowbar right here. He's ready to kick his ass. Look, he's like so ready. Are you Iranian? I will smack the bejesus out of you. But no, then they find out that he's American. And he goes down on one knee. And everybody suddenly like, chill. Whoa, alright, you're American. Thank you for helping. And they help him immediately. He goes away. He's like, my crowbar is not needed here. This is an American. Thank you for helping my country. Thank you for your service, mad lad. Yeah, I love this exchange. They're so ready with the crowbar to hit the Iranian pilot smack to the head. But it's American pilots. This is a good guy, good fella here. Thank you for your service. I'm so glad the pilots are fine also. 3 F-15s were shot down by Kuwait, friendly fire, and all 6 pilots, 3 pilots and 3 weapon systems operators, I don't know how you call them, the other guys on the plane, they are fine also. And United States CENTCOM actually officially stated that all of the pilots are in recoverable position. That's what the wording they used. 3 American pilots who ejected over Kuwait indicate that the Americans lost at least 2. Well, actually, it was 3. And one of the pilots was this woman right here. She gotta be one of the most badass women pilots I've ever seen in my life, because we have a video about her, by the way. See, this is the video. And locals immediately crowd her. They found out she's American. They speak English to her. And bear in mind, this pilot just emergency landed, ejected from a plane. I don't know how many G's of gravity she had to endure for a long time, and she didn't know if she's gonna survive. Look how she takes it. This is a very much near-death experience for her.
You're fine? Really?
Look at that.
You need something to help you?
You need something to help you? No, I'm fine. Don't.
No problem. You're safe. You're safe. You're safe.
Look at that.
Everything good? No problem. Thank you.
She is smiling, she's giggling, she's happy, you know. What the hell? I'd be going through that ejection out of the plane. I don't know how many G's of gravity. I mean, I will pass out probably. I could shit my pants. I mean, but she, God level control. I mean, look how happy she is. She's happy that she survived. She's happy that alive and well in a friendly country. In Kuwait, you know, very American-friendly country, good. And I don't know how many medals they gotta give to her, but the attitude is on point. I love it so much. Now this is the moment one of the pilots was dropping down from the parachute. Now below him is dangling the safety raft if she or he was landing on the water, but the pilot is fine actually, that's the pilot. And inside the pilot's jackets, there's blood shit. It sounds blood kit. How do you say this without sounding bad? Blood kit, maybe. This word right here. If you're a veteran of Korea or Vietnam, they had them there. Every pilot operating in those areas had this. And I'll read you the text that is written here in like, what, 5 or 6 languages. I am an American soldier and I do not speak your language. I will do you no harm. Please give me food, water, shelter, clothing, and doctor. Help me reach American or friendly forces. When you provide my name and this number to U.S. authorities, you will be rewarded. This is awesome to see. And also a reality check that these pilots are flying over Iranian territory. If they would go down there, they would be on their own. I mean, special forces would be deployed. I'm 100% sure of that. But for a few days, they gotta fight on their own. That's an approximate location of where these F-15s were shot down. Thing is, yeah, it's really bad. It's blue on blue. I'm glad everybody's fine, but it's in a way nice to see it. I don't know. It's the silver lining of this, I'm trying to say, might be that Kuwait uses Patriots. It shows that Patriots are really good. Really, really good. But unfortunately, it shows them on friendly aircraft. Now let's watch a compilation of the damage Iran has done to United States assets in the Middle East. All of the military bases, everything combined. See, this is the first one. Look before and after. 1 warehouse destroyed. 1 warehouse damaged. 3 warehouses destroyed. A few here destroyed. And here is a hole on the roof. So, about 4 or 5 different bases, mostly warehouses or holes in the roof. An entire Iranian air defense, everything gone. Their naval assets, their entire navy, gone. Their nuclear enrichment facilities, gone. Their country's entire leadership, gone. And they managed to punch like 5 holes into different warehouses in United States bases. So, I say it's a very good trade-off. A very cheap trade-off for United States to take out their arch enemy. It's a massive loss for Iran. And how confident is the United States that they have taken out Iranian air defense? Well, they're flying B-1s. They're flying B-1s. Look at this plane. It's a beautiful, awesome plane. I love it so much. I mean, its liftoff is much awesomer than B-2. Look at that. It's one of the most beautiful bombers I've seen. Look at that. But it's loud as hell in a way, like on a radar. It's big as hell. So to fly this, you gotta be absolutely sure nothing will shoot at you. And they're flying this. So United States is very sure that nothing can shoot at these. And I love the look of them. I mean, look at that. Whoa. Gotta give props to whoever designed this plane, 50 years ago. Still looks awesome. I'm getting the feels of like freedom right here. And talking about Iranian air defense, and I keep talking about it because it's such an enjoyable topic. Well, Iran relied on Russian-made air defense systems. Those expectations placed on Russian weapons ultimately proved unjustified. Most Russian air defense units have been disabled or suppressed by electronic warfare capabilities. The United States and Israel now control skies over Iran, and the similar situation has occurred in Venezuela. And now the countries that field the Russian S-300s and S-400s, I think there is Turkey, there is India. These countries are very nervous. They're sweating profoundly because we have 2 instances in like 3-month period, Venezuela and Iran, where these air defense systems basically crap themselves. Yeah, it's beautiful. By the way, you can leave a review on the S-300s in the Google reviews. Check it out. Ali Khamenei has left 1 review, 1 star out of 5. For something this expensive, I expected better results. And Nicolas Maduro also leaves 1 star only. Seemed powerful, reality disagreed. And while we are at the memes, I gotta continue a little bit, you know. Iran says, I gave you drones. Actually, almost 50,000 drones they gave to Russia. Help me. And Russia says, who are you? Because, yeah, Putin pretty much wrote a condolence letter that I'm so sad that Khamenei died, but we're not going to help you at all, even though we have a mutual defense agreement. This is like, I couldn't write this up. This is a comedy movie. Reckoning is coming. But we have this 400. It's the best, right? Yeah, no. I have so much more information, my friends. I don't want to make this video long. So now let's look at Russia. Yeah, I have some Ukrainian and Russian information here also. Ukraine struck the Russian port of Novorossiysk. And it happened like 2 days ago. And I want to show you how Russians were trying to shoot down the drones. I remind you, this is an urbanized area. Look at that. Can you count how many people are shooting up in the sky? This reminds me of Desert Storm, the capital, when they were trying to shoot down United States fighters with Kalashnikovs. This is what it looked like. Look at that. All of these bullets gotta come down. I wouldn't want to be owning an apartment or a car in this area. It will be penetrated to oblivion. Yeah, they didn't hit any drones, just so you know. What got hit, though, I'm glad you asked, because here is a list of Russian assets. Well, first of all, let's watch the video. Local Novorossiysk resident filming for us a nice little barbecue. Oh my. What is this? I love, god damn. I love the reaction. You're a Russian, you wake up like in the middle of the night and see a massive fireball in your own town. Like, oh my, what is this? God damn. Must be fun to be Russian living in Novorossiysk. Well, what is it? I will tell you what it was. It was either a warship, a 30 N6E2 radar on the S-300, a Panzer S-2, or a 6 out of 7 oil loading berths. All of these were hit. So it could be any one of them, but I think it's oil. Yeah. It's a massive, massive pounding for these assets. And about the warship, by the way, this is not a clickbait. They actually hit a warship. Which one? Well, this one. This is a carrier of the Calibre missiles, which are really hurting Ukraine. Admiral Grigorovich. Look at that. That's a missile carrier ship. And that was hit right now in Novorossiysk. God damn. That's nice. More photos. It's a pretty ship. I mean, yeah, more photos of this ship that is right now either damaged or turned into a submarine. We don't know yet. You might know by the time you're watching. But this is a nice little ship. It would really look nice in the bottom of the Black Sea. By the way, let's look at a sunrise. Look at this beautiful sunrise. Sun is lifting up from the water. So pretty. Oh, wait. It's not a sunrise. It's a Russian LNG tanker, ARCTIC METAGAZ. It was struck by... I'm sorry, but we have no idea what it was struck with. Was it on the water drone or aerial drone? We don't know, but one of these drones. It was struck, and this photo is made tens of kilometers away. Still, the explosion is looking magnificent, as powerful as the sunrise. This tanker was carrying this much gas, liquefied natural gas, LNG, which is, what, $60 million worth of money on that ship. And it was struck. And liquefied natural gas, it likes to explode big time. So this is what we're seeing, a sunrise in the middle of the night. You know, Russian government, they provide their own people with barbecues sometimes with shit fountains. But in this instance, we got a new nice sunrise in the middle of the night. Nice. It's worth to be Russian. Well, yeah. This was taken, by the way, very, very, very far away. Over 100 kilometers away. And it still looks like a red little hue in the distance. So up close, it must have looked godly. Very nice. And I want to end this video today with wonderful news, because over 2 years, I think, even a very, very long period, right now in February, Russia lost more territory than they occupied in Ukraine. 1st of March, by Rebar, the map, look at Ukrainian penetration into the red area. Ukrainians are penetrating into this Putin's red zones, if you know what I mean. And in other areas also. We actually have the statistics and the chart for the first time in many, many, many months, over a year. Ukrainians have liberated more territory than Russians have occupied. This is a great news to end this video with. Thank you for watching, my friends. I'll be I'll keep you updated about Iran and about Russia. I hope they both will be bombed back to the Stone Age. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we'll talk about it. If you like my channel, sign up for Buy Me a Coffee. And until my next video on Friday, Slava Ukraini, and bye-bye.